Hey, welcome back to the Invest Podcast. Actually, we're changing the name to the show. It's called 4, 4, and 6 in the Trap now. I'm your host, Brian. And then we have Darryl here, who is 4, 4, because he likes to run headfirst into telephone poles.
Host, what are you talking about? I thought we were just talking on the phone. I mean,
What?
oh yeah, we're doing a podcast.
We're
It's
doing
been
a
a while.
podcast. Well, you keep running into telephone poles like your Lord and Savior Camp Scadaboos go. So
No,
Fofo and 6 in the Trap.
no, Fofo is Hank Aaron. Thank you very much.
Truth. Anyway, yeah, we're back. So I was in Hawaii for a little over a week, and that's why we haven't been around for the last 2 weeks. So yeah, good times. I saw sea turtles, Darryl. Sea turtles.
Did you see Maui?
I did. I actually bought a shirt like the Maui hook is everywhere. Obviously, his fish hook, and there's different styles of the hook that all have different meanings. It was pretty cool. So I got Haley one that's that means family. So I also bought her a ukulele.
Now, tell me you got some type of magnet with a man with dark glasses and a bald head on for the whole family thing.
No,
Come on now, it's family.
I mean family. So I mean, that guy did try to get people to donate to an actor's cause, saying it was for Lahaina. But anyway, but no, it was really awesome. I highly recommend it. Once a lifetime thing. Can't believe I got to go. Super cool. Darryl, how are you?
Well, all right. Technically, you've been, but didn't you? Isn't that correct?
Technically, but
Technically speaking,
I went for work for like 2 days. It wasn't like a trip of a lifetime type thing.
by the way, what's 2 days going to Hawaii for 2 days from here is a little cray.
Well,
as far as the work thing, like, oh yeah, you're going to go there 2 days and that's it.
And then I came back and went to Turkey for work. Nice little 12-hour time difference swing there. I think it was 13 actually. Anyway, but yeah. So Darryl, what's going on?
We're getting in the middle of October baseball, middle of college football season, basketball's right around the corner. I mean, I would say we have some good movies out, but that's really not necessarily the case.
I don't know. I've been kind of catching up on the things from like earlier in the year that's streaming now.
That's what I'm doing. Yep.
I'll say this. I watched Opus, so you don't have to.
Oh, I should take that off my list.
It's fine. Like I honestly, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be, but it's still super weird. I really liked Karate Kid Legends, which is on Netflix now.
I don't know if I really liked it. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. It was it clearly much better than I expected it to be. I will say that without a doubt.
Did not need Ralph Macchio at all.
At all.
Like
at all.
Yeah. Like it would have been cool to see him learn like the kung fu and boxing from Pacey Witter rather than Miyagi. But I get it. I mean, it's Karate Kid. So.
Again, if they wanted to do that, if they were going to bring him in, they should have brought one or two of the Eagle Fang guys in to train with the kid. That would have been cool.
I feel like bringing Eli along would have been like the right pick.
You just want to hear the
yeah. So
I love that though.
I do too. But because I think there's no way he's gonna beat the one true Karate Kid and Miguel Diaz there. I watched Drop.
Speaking of, real quick, I had to drop my car off a couple of weeks ago, and I had my Cobra Kai shirt on, so I had to call an Uber to take me home. We talked about Cobra Kai the whole way home.
Nice.
the whole way to him dropping me off.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I watched Drop. I actually really liked Drop for what it was.
I like Drop. Yeah.
What else did I watch? Fight or Flight was really
Another
good.
fun one.
Um,
Yeah.
I was surprised by Bride Hard.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. You told me about that.
And yeah, so I bought Twinless so I can watch that coming up here soon. And then
So,
for not so good, and we'll just we'll go
oh,
ahead
okay.
and hop right on. Maybe, yeah, we'll just hop right on to the show now. For the not so good, Tron Ares. You did not see Tron Ares.
No,
And
I could have yesterday, but I decided I wanted to see Demon Slayer instead,
yeah.
and I'm glad I did.
Well, I'm gonna just say, you know, a lot of times people are like, I'm jealous. You saw that, and I wish I could see that for the first time. I'm jealous that you didn't see it, and that I had to see it for a first time.
So you basically wanted me to sit next to you, hold my head and eyes open, and say, "Watch this."
Yes. And then like as like bad things happened in the movie, like do like like violence to you, so that like every time you saw something like that, you would just get sick, like
Dude,
the guy
so
from A Clockwork Orange.
so I would do the Sam O'Neill a scream from Event Horizon.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly,
Ah!
100%. So, okay. So here's the thing. Tron Ares was not a good movie. It's how they say like Seinfeld was a show about nothing, or Ghostbusters was a show about nothing, or movie about nothing. Like this was definitely like something about this was a movie about nothing, but it's what you expect from the guy who directed the worst Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Dead Men Tell No
Oh,
Tales.
yeah. Yes.
Um, it was. You don't watch Tron and think, you know what, I really want to see the real world. Like,
No.
I think what we saw from the previews was like, I mean, it's all that happens in the movie. But you like, if they were gonna have like the grid in the real world, they needed to have the grid in the real world, not 29 minutes at a time. And also, no Sam Flynn, no Cora. It was a AI version of Kevin Flynn. It was just really, I don't know, like the nostalgia beat that when they went to Finn's original grid, like that was the best part of the movie, because it was the only part of the movie that had any kind of heart.
Mhm.
Greta Lee, she won an Oscar for something, and I didn't.
Was it something like Parasite or
No, hold
I'm
on.
trying to think of one of the
She won an Emmy, Golden Globe. What did she win? Past Lives.
oh,
So,
yeah.
anyway, she is like wholly forgettable in this movie. Like wholly forgettable. It's like Jared Leto was not a good actor, and he just every scene they're in, he just completely swallows up the scene with her. Also, like her Eve Kim character, probably has the least motivation of any character to do what they're doing. Remember how like you used to joke about how like Eli Manning was like the most unhappy he ever looked when he was on the field playing football, but anytime he was doing anything else, like he's like, yes, this is what I should be doing. Like
Yeah.
that was Eve Kim, the character Eve Kim. Just not very good. And then it was what's her name, the Jodie Turner Smith.
Jim Turner
From
Smith,
the
or yeah.
Acolyte. So she's just the angry black lesbian now, and everything is. So, whereas, what's the one character, Atlantia in Red Rising? Are you that far in Red Rising, where like the people from Saturn and stuff, like?
Dude, I've read those books twice.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like she would be perfect for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, she has that
like,
look. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I mean, I will say this. She looks badass, but I also thought it was funny because of all the characters, anytime it was a male character, they had a full face helmet, like covered their face. Anytime it was a female character, it was a half face. And with her, it was like just a little like visor that went down so you could see all of her face.
Uh,
So, I will say this movie like started being made during COVID. Um, and it's like, I feel like this is the last of the girl boss movies that Disney had like in the hopper, so to speak. Because they've been getting away from it, but like there's a whole lot of girl bossing going on in this movie.
mhm.
And like even the Hasan Minhaj, the comedian, you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
He's actually kind of like his stand up is actually kind of funny. He's like her CTO, and it's like, wow, like there was no reason for him to be in this movie. Arturo Castro, who's also a stand up, played her assistant Seth, who had no like the minute he came on like and started talking Carlo Leans, everyone goes, I hate him. Anyway, here's the thing: the effects were not as good as the effects in Tron Legacy. Obviously the story was not there. It is not like a continuation. It's a soft reboot. There's no Cillian Murphy. You know, Gillian Anderson was like Dillinger's daughter, and now they've just like had Dillinger Jr., who was Cillian Murphy, like just not even a part, not even mentioned, any of that. Evan Peters, I think, is what they were trying to do with Lex Luthor in Superman, like to be like just full on mustache twirling evil. But he was kind of a whiny bitch, like Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor.
Did he drop a tear?
Did I know? Did he? Yeah, I mean,
No,
he
did
cried
he?
a lot. I mean, he was constantly like, but yeah, it was just kind of like, yeah, it just wasn't good. I mean, even the Cal Kestis cameo was like just a waste.
Mhm.
Um,
So basically, you're not recommending this movie.
no, I give it a 2 out of 10. And the other thing is, I don't care what you say. The Nine Inch Nails soundtrack, it was like I was listening. Like I could have closed my eyes and I would think I was watching the Social Network because it was the exact same score.
Okay.
Whereas like Daft Punk, dude, what Daft Punk did was like highly original with Legacy and like kind of fit the grid way better than this. And like this was Nine Inch Nails, like, you know, we haven't done an album in a while. Let's just do a movie soundtrack. Like I swear, like they're like, you know, if it sucks, it sucks. So anyway, yeah, 2 out of 10 pass. Don't. I mean, I wouldn't even bother like worrying about watching it on streaming.
Oh, I'm absolutely gonna watch it on streaming, but it'll
So
probably be one of those movies that 20 minutes in, I'm like, I can't do it.
yeah,
Well,
okay.
I've done that plenty of
It's
times.
what was the movie that Virtue Signal Brave New World that I had to keep pausing and walking away from
Oh my
because I was
gosh.
getting angry. It'll be like that for you.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yep.
That was so bad.
All right. Well, so that was Tron Ares. Pass. Like, don't even bother. I mean, like, you know, if it's on, it'll be on Disney Plus. If it makes 45 days in the theater, I'll be shocked. There were less than 15 people in the RPX theater that we were in at 12:40 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah.
There was one person in our row, and there was nobody in the rows behind us.
Well, I mean, I was the only person to see my movie, but that movie's been out for a few weeks, and I saw it at 12:30
Yeah.
on a Monday.
Well, yeah. Most people are working on Mondays, Darryl.
Yeah, I know. So, so you want to talk about something good now?
Yeah, let's talk about the Terminal List Dark Wolf series. Sorry, finale.
Yeah. Well, I won't. I don't necessarily think unless you saw something in the last week, if it's definitively a series finale, because the thought was they definitely have stories to tell, not necessarily based on this finale, but they've put this show is 7-ish years before Terminal List. So there's a lot of stuff they can tell if they want to, if if the money's there and the direction and the Chris Pratt and Taylor want to do more.
Mm-hmm.
Tom and others,
Yeah,
I could
bringing Tom
absolutely see a
Hopper
second.
back for more would be
Yeah.
great. Like, actually, like maybe just like focus on where Hopper went after all this first, and like
And again,
slide it
that's
back
another
around.
thing they could do.
Yeah,
That's another thing they could absolutely do.
because we need
And I would
more
be in for that.
Like Tom Hopper needs like more
I
stuff.
want to know more about his story.
You know who he would be?
The stuff with his father, the stuff with the CIA
Yeah.
that happened with
Oh,
his
yeah.
family. There's they did such a good job with this throughout, hinting at what was going on.
Just talking about the larger world, like winks
Yeah,
and nods
so-
and hat tips to it. Yeah, he would be
Yeah.
a great Cyclops
It's a little big for a Cyclops.
for age appropriate, like not like a teenager, but I mean, Scott's not short.
I mean, I don't think he's 6'5" and jacked.
I mean,
He's jacked, but he's not. I mean,
But-
it can make it work.
Yeah.
I'll say if a guy that's 6 foot plus can play Wolverine, then a
Well,
guy that's 6'5"
I was gonna say
can play
because they could
Cyclops.
get like a 6 foot guy to play Wolverine then, and they'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
look, he's like accurately short."
Yeah. So to be in that, because I like him as an actor.
Yeah,
So
I do too. I really liked him as Luther on Umbrella Academy.
Mhm.
And I mean, I know
and Billy Bones.
he was your favorite character, Dickon Tawley, in Game of Thrones. So
I'm talking about Billy Bones.
Billy Bones, man, when he fell off the
Yeah.
ship, and you're like, "Oh, what? Billy Bones is gone," and then he comes back, and yeah. So, Black Sails, definitely watch Black Sails. Like if you're
Watch
looking
that
for
show.
something to just binge. We just recently rebinged Friday Night Lights. Speaking of Tim Riggins, it's pretty funny to like watch that and then be like, oh, this is what Tim Riggins did. He went off and became a killer. No, I think this was a really good finale. It's like 2 months after the penultimate episode, and they figure out that Haverford had turned on them and everything, and they're kind of like, like Ben is working with the team to try and get their names cleared. You have Landry and Farouk helping him out, and Veron, obviously. I thought I really liked the pacing of the episode. I liked Ben's last stand, so to speak. I thought that was really cool because, like, even though we knew he lives, like, there was still a lot of stakes to it because you're like, whoa, I wonder if he's like, what, like, was he just in like a coma for 7 years or something?
Yeah.
So
And again, that makes it even more intriguing, especially when we, for those that watch the Terminal List, see where he is and what happens, between him and Chris Pratt's character in that.
yeah.
It's like, what happened? Like, because we were theorizing. One of the things we were theorizing is that he was going to kill Tom Hopper's character.
Yeah.
Or he was like, I mean, we said that early on.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, and now that he's alive, spoilers, sorry, but well, actually, we knew he was alive in the episode before this.
Yeah.
So, now that he's alive, that's again going back to there's so much world to play with this show, and like you were talking about his last stand, I just love the action sequences in this show. It has that gritty real, and Terminal List too, gritty realness that the original John Wick had, but actually toned down in the sense of it feels grittier and realer.
Well, and because he has like the magazines set up everywhere. He's like, he runs out of bullets. He keeps track of his bullets. It's not just like, he's not doing the cool like finger slide.
And the whole farm thing. Did you ever see the last Rambo? Was it Last Blood?
No,
think
I
it was
never
called-
did watch that one.
It was kind of messed up, but there's a sequence where he lures these guys that, basically for all intents and purposes kills his niece or granddaughter, or I think it was his niece, or whatever she was. And it's on his farm and the traps he has set. It's awesome. And that's what this reminded me of. That you know that that R-rated Home Alone type trap
Oh
set.
yeah.
Which I mean, but just the gunplay and the choreography is because again with the fight, and again this is going throughout the series. Yes, there are some hand-to-hand moments, but again, those are very brutal. There's not a lot of choreography in the sense of dancing. It's actually like a brawl, like people fighting for their lives. Like was it Verona? Was that her name? The one where we talked about
Yeah.
before,
Oh
where
yeah, the
she has
fight. This
that
that crazy
just
ass fight. Yeah.
yeah. But and again, it's 110-pound woman against a massive man,
Mhm.
but it made sense how she was able to stick out. Well, number one, she put 2 bullets in him in
Right.
his chest, so I mean, he's automatically down to 60%. But again, even with Ben's character, him and the Israeli agent, okay, I think it's episode 5 or 4, were there in the hotel and they're fighting, and he's
Mhm.
fighting hand to hand.
Oh yeah.
It's just all the way through,
Yeah.
and what we find is it leads back to it leads it back to what is the guy's name?
Haverford.
Haverford.
Yeah.
And his motivations for putting all of this in motion. And I actually really liked that last interaction between Ben and Haverford
Yeah. Oh
because
yeah.
it was one of those where the cliche thing to do would be him to just put a bullet in his
Mhm.
brain pan, but no, Ben had a much better idea for how a guy like that should be dealt with.
Right. Right. And it was a great line too. He's like, "No, you're gonna just rot in jail." Like,
Yeah,
he's like, "I'm not gonna give you. You're not gonna be a star on that wall."
yeah,
Like
that was yeah.
that was super cold blooded from Ben. Now the other cool thing is once they that's what Ben was doing when the rest of the team was going around and like kind of tying up loose ends. Um,
Mhm.
it's very reminiscent of you know, I know you didn't, or I don't know if you watched like the miniseries, like the Children of Dune miniseries.
I did not.
Before Paul goes in the desert and he tells Alia, he's like, you know, let's take care of our affairs. And then like there's a montage of like everyone who's like turned against the Atreides, like being horrifically murdered.
Yeah.
Um, like like Landry gets up close and personal with our favorite kind of knife. And I like how the guy was like, "Oh, your hands are real," because he thought it was a girl.
Yeah.
And then Landry's like, "Nope." And then the with Cyrus with the bomb, what Mo did
Oh man.
was crazy. Like, yes, because it was a great way because they were like they tricked him back to somewhere quiet because he was he was out and they're like, well, we're working, like we need you, and he's like, what do you need me for, why am I doing this? And then it's like, what is this all about? And it just is for Ilsa. And then from
Yeah.
the bomb on top of the car, that was sick. And
Poetic justice.
it really was. I just thought like, yes, that was really cool. And then with Ben giving Elsa, Eliza, whatever, her daughter giving her the bracelet was like really touching, and it was a really cool scene too. And I liked how they had that little bit of eye contact moment before he got in the car and took off.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I really think too, like it does open this up for more, and maybe it's going to be the Terminalist something else, not Terminalist Dark Wolf, because
No,
maybe it could be like Terminalist like Green Hat or Ground Branch or whatever, like. So it's like if it's a nice little anthology focused around Ben, I'm here for it.
right. Again, they did a great job not painting themselves into a corner. They spaced it out far enough away from the original terminal list that there's a lot of,
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of room to, you can bring even Chris Pratt back for an episode, like 'cause that's what they did here. They had
oh yeah,
him. He was in it for, I don't for a grand total of what,
he
30
he was
minutes
in
of the
3
series or
total
so?
episodes for less than 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, when he popped up in the finale too with the axe.
That was, yeah.
That, like, talking about like fatality, perfect.
Yeah.
Flawless victory.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
And then Pablo Schreier showing up at the end as Dash, one of Ben and what is Chris
I know.
Pratt's first name?
I spaced on his name.
Yeah, I'm always spacing on it. Hold on, it's real easy. I can find it. But
Reese.
Reese, yeah, Kyle Reese. It's not Kyle Reese. It's James Reese. Anyway,
James. I was about to say, just John.
but Pablo Schreier showing up, it's like that opens, like you were saying, that door. So all right, let's get to the ratings here. So for the series finale, which was called The Wolf You Feed, out of 5 truthful conclusions, what do you give this one?
4.5 out of 5. It's just the perfect bow tie or bow tie, perfect bow to wrap up this season. But also it has that little strand where you can pull it and open it up, and there can be more to be told, more story to be told.
Correct. I mean, I'm almost right there with you. I'm a 4.49 out of 5. I thought this was probably the best episode of the series too, which it went out on such a huge high note, just like from the story, from the way they wrapped everything up, and just like cinematically.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Like Ben's last stand, like I think was like, that like, if I die mentality that he had, but I'm going to take as many of these people out with me as I can. And like, honestly, like if it wasn't for like just a lucky shot, he would have been, even more deadly. All right. So for the series, out of 10, you don't take a man's wings.
8.3 out of 10. This is one of my, this is going to be on my list of top shows at the end of the year. I don't know where it falls right now in a rating standpoint, but it's really high up there. Just because from start to finish, I thought it was very, like you said, one of the first things you said was the pacing. I love the pacing. I really liked how they integrated, this story in with Terminal List, how they've opened us up to a potentially larger world, but at the same time, they told a cohesive story with a definitive beginning, middle, and end. It's just that that story is told. This story with Haverford, the story of Ben, after what he did after getting his wings taken.
Yeah.
But there's just, again, so much more to go. So 8.3 out of 10.
Yeah, I went 7, 8, 9 out of 10. I really liked it. I'm right up there with you. This is definitely in my top 5 for the year so far. I mean, this is the type of thing that we really like, what we really look for. And you should watch it if you haven't seen it yet.
Absolutely.
All right, let's move on to our last show that we've been talking about for a while here. It's nice that they ended at the same time. Unfortunately, they ended at the same time when I was gone. So we're talking about them a little late. Alien Earth season finale. I don't know if it's been picked up yet. Have we seen anything about that?
I have not. Speculation either, like both ways. I've seen like, oh, it's definitely getting picked up. It's not getting picked. Definitely not. There's nothing out there, at least that I've seen in the last week.
Been renewed yet. So
okay,
but I mean, they did really well with like people watching and everything. But so yeah, episode 8, The Real Monsters. This was my favorite episode of the series. I didn't even look at what your score was yet.
Yes, but it's my least favorite. Well, I won't. Yeah, it's my least favorite.
Wow, we're pretty far apart here. Yes. This isn't my highest ranked one because I don't think it is like technically. I don't think it's like, I think the one with all the flashbacks was technically the best episode they did. Like from like the art of television show, but for what they finally like got to with this episode, with the premium humans, with Hermit, with the boy genius, with what happened to Kirsch and everything, like I really, really liked it. And the way the episode ended too, with Utani coming to Cavalier's Island, it just like it opens up like kind of like what the Terminalist did. It opens up so much more story, and it looks like with Predator Badlands that like the android with the Predator in the trailer, and the fact that there's people like humans in the trailer for that, like I'm hoping that there will be a nice like tie-in there from the movie into the next season of Alien Earth.
So I definitively disagree, but I'll agree with one thing which you said, but on the opposite end. I don't think this is the worst episode. I think my rating is a culmination of how this show for me started off and then it got really good, and then the last three episodes for me just kept falling, kept falling, kept falling.
So to
I
that
think
point, real quick, the kept falling, kept falling. Do you remember the season Lost during season 3 when
I
they
never got to season 3 of Lost.
Okay, so during season 3, they were in talks of like how long the show was going to go on for,
Mhm.
and the Damon Lindelof and Carlton Cuse we want to do. I think they wanted to do 5, like what it ended up being 5 seasons. That they're like, this is our story. We have a definitive thing. And ABC's like, no, we're gonna ride this pony into the ground. And so season 3 came out, and there was this like, it was 6 episodes and then 14 episodes, 16
Ooh.
episodes.
Oh.
Because it's 22. So the first 6 episodes was the story of Nikki and Paulo, who were these characters that were all of a sudden on the island, or who were from the plane and were all of a sudden on the island, kind of thing. And I think they were like robbers or some sort of like criminals, not like murderers or anything like that. They were like thieves. And it was just the dumbest shit, right? And so like it really was. I mean, it was really bad. It was 6 episodes, and then the show went away for like 4 months. And they were at this point where they were trying to get ABC and Disney to be like, hey, like give us what we want, like they pulled Ric Flair through the hallways and were just yelling in people's faces, give me what I want. And so that, I think I will agree with you about these last, the episodes 6 and 7. There was a lot of wheel spinning going on to get to the finale, to be able to tell more stories for another season. And I think you have one season, you should tell as much story as you can.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a guarantee for a second season.
Right. No, but yeah, you hardly ever do.
And I don't think this was a cliffhanger ending either, though.
Okay. And I will add this too. I know you said there's a whole lot of world, but unlike Dark Wolf, I will bring up a one of the baddest ass scenes in a movie, but from a standpoint of the lore of the series, it took away from it, and that is The Last Jedi, the Holdo maneuver.
Oh God, yeah.
That was, I don't care what anybody says, that was one of the coolest things to see. But again, from a lore standpoint, it breaks so much, because why wouldn't people just use slave ships and just launch them like that at their enemies?
Well, especially because Hera like went to light speed through the hangar of the one space station in Rebels in the X-wing, and like it didn't blow up.
And you can't tell me no one has thought about that before.
Right.
So and how do I compare this with Alien Earth?
Yeah.
So what you have is a xenomorph who somehow is the attack dog for this, premium human or this hybrid, which in and of itself I don't like. But I could say, okay, that could pay off in the future, in future movies. However, we have a definitive timeline, and there's nothing like that. And this is, when I say definitive, I mean 20 years later, I think, I get the movies. I kept looking at this. It's like Covenant. You have Alien Romulus, I think, is like 20 years after this.
Right.
then you have Covenant, and then you have Covenant or Prometheus. So you have all of these movies within a 30-year time span, and nothing like this shows up.
Mhm.
I have a problem with that. And again, going back to the Holdo maneuver, let's not even talk about how bad of a movie The Last Jedi was and Ruin Johnson and what he did. I'm just talking about that scene, or even worse than that. Let's talk about Luke, and I say this in parenthesis in parenthetically, Luke Skywalker,
Mhm.
and what he did with that, and how he. And again, I don't think.
You mean Jake Skywalker?
Yeah, Jake's. And don't get me wrong. As much as I did not like this, it did not do to the Alien franchise what he did,
Oh,
Ruin Johnson
yeah.
did to Star Wars. Also, because there's stuff that has come before this in the Alien franchise that, as much as I didn't like this, I would say is worse, and
Mhm.
it's in the Alien timeline. So, from a standpoint of the whole franchise, no, this did not murder the franchise. No, this did not just, leave its bloody corpse, in the back alley like like Ruin Johnson did.
Mhm.
But at the same time, for me, that what they did, even though it was, I don't think the idea itself of having, being able to control the alien is bad, but for me, just personally, it took away that the brutality and the like unpredictability of the alien species.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, I
And I'm
mean,
done.
yeah. So, yeah, it's Alien Covenant, and then this, and then Alien, and
Where
then
is Romulus at?
it's after this. So,
Yeah,
but
it's
like, it's Alien Earth, Alien, then the short Alien Isolation, and then Alien Romulus. Um,
oh, they tag isolation as a part of
Dude,
the
they have
like
all like on the wiki. It's got the
yeah,
whole story chronology. So like the beginning is Alien versus
that game
Predator, Alien versus Predator
dude,
Requiem, all the way down to Happy Birthday David, like Wayland Industries testimonials. Like it goes
oh
it goes pretty deep.
wow.
It's got Alien Covenant Origins, Phobos, Covenant Prologue, The Last
Mhm.
Supper, Covenant crew messages. So all the like special feature stuff. Then
Oh,
Alien Covenant. Then it's got
that
Alien
is really
Covenant
cool.
Advent, then David's Labs, The Last Sign of Life, then Alien
Mhm.
Earth. So Alien Earth is after David's Lab.
Okay.
Then Alien Isolation, Romulus, Out of the Shadows, then Aliens, then Aliens, Colonial Marines, then 3, then Dark Descent, Fireteam Elite, Resurrection, and then Uncivil War.
Wow.
So I
Like
mean,
that's
it's
like
got like this is like super like this is great. Like it's because it counts like it's not just the movies, it's the books, it's the special
yeah,
features, it's the games. Um, but so
that's really cool. I
you
like
know
that.
um because Romulus is after obviously because they find the Nostromo destroyed
Mhm.
out there. Um, I I I think what's interesting is it adds because Ridley was involved with this, right? Like with this show. Um, like I don't know if the intention is to add to the mythos of what the Nostromo was actually doing, what the
Mhm.
Utami's mission was for them, because it becomes much more diabolical to send a crew out into space knowing what's out there.
Well, again, that was one of my issues is how crazy it was for, and again, this is my one of my issues when I actually thought that when I actually liked the story and where I
Mhm.
thought it was going, is that was one of the first things I said. It's like you have these people, these individuals, this motley crew of the most dysfunctional people trying to pick up these alien species, not just our xenomorphs, but all
Mhm.
these other ones, and you don't, and these people, they came across as so incompetent,
Right.
like absolutely incompetent.
Well,
So
like I feel like they did an Alien to a point as well.
yeah, and again, the alien, I'll put it that way, alien. They, um, again, going back to what you just said, like as far as they were not trying to reestablish what they were doing with the Nostromo, but like, yeah, I could see where that comes from. I would just say that unless we get more information on what the Nostromo was about,
So, okay, let me just ask a hypothetical question. So, if it gets season 2 and it answers some of these things, will you look differently back at season 1?
there is a possibility.
So,
And I say,
I'm just going to give a real world example real quick. Breaking Bad. I hated the first
mhm,
season. After watching the
mhm,
first half of season 5, I'm like, oh, season 1 makes way more sense to me now.
yeah. And I was going to say, I was going to backtrack a little bit from what I said about when you said it opens up different like worlds. Not backtracking because my point stands as far as the mythos of the aliens
Mm-hmm.
of with the xenomorphs and stuff. I still have an issue with that. With that being said, there is a possibility of opening it up to a larger world because you have all these other alien species which I personally do want to see more of.
Mm-hmm.
The question becomes for me though, it can be done, but it's going to be very difficult how to work that type of stuff in when this is a prequel series and we've heard nothing else about this stuff in the past, like in the past movies or in the past,
Right.
media. It can be done, I think. There are probably ways to do it. I mean, it's going to take really someone and really on point with their writing, which, let's be honest, there's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of that in Hollywood. I mean, there are some of those out there, but so yes, I will if they do a good job with season 2, given me, I'm still not going to like the alien attack dog analogy and stuff. I'm not
Sure.
going to like that. But I'm not saying this like even as bad as the rating I gave this episode and the lower rating I gave the show, there is a way for them for me personally for them to write season 2 where I go back and season 1's like, okay, I didn't like that.
So
However,
you're not alone in the feeling there because there are
yeah.
like a lot of critics were, in the show notes it says like that the show lost sight
Mhm.
of the original tone and like it was overused convenience of a lot of
Yeah.
things at the end. Like it was like the Goonies. It was just coincidence after
Yeah.
coincidence, right?
It was, dude. It
But
was. Yeah,
uh
that's a good analogy.
but it still didn't take away from me for that because
Yeah.
there were a lot of stakes built in, right? And there was a ton of then like real tension that was built within in the show of is that eyeball ever going to get Cavalier? What's going to happen when the cyborgs fight each other? With Kirsch
Mhm.
and what's his name?
Moro,
Mora, thank you. When they fight,
which
which
I
did
had
not disappoint.
I still had a problem with that because Moro does have a cybernetic arm.
Mhm.
That is true, but he is still human. I know he has cybernetic implants up top,
I think
but
he's got him
again,
throughout. I thought he had him throughout.
well, see, and again, that might.
Plus, his one arm like had a big hammer on it that he like
Well,
wielded amazingly as like Mjolnir.
what I'm saying is early in the fight, Kirsch punches him
Yeah.
in the throat.
Oh yeah.
Like if he is not cybernetic, he's done for right there.
Sure.
Like it's a wrap.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. I did like the fight as a whole, and I actually thought it was kind of hilarious that they both get cuffed by.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny. Where it's like after this big fight they had, and Kirsch is like, cuffing, and he gets cuffed, and then Moro gets KO'd. I that was I did think that was pretty funny though. Like all that energy and going against each other, and then these two kids, quote unquote,
Yeah.
truss you up.
So, but I mean, they're enhanced and they have more powers.
Well, yeah,
So all right. We've got like we're just about at time for what we were trying to do. So I'll leave it at this. I really liked how Wendy became a master control program for everything, like on Cavalier's Island, and I'm curious if that will work in the rest of the universe.
yeah, and again, like I said, I think almost going back to not exactly,
Mm-hmm.
but going to the whole Dune thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'll probably know what I mean. Like with Dune, after the machine war, outlawing computers and
Yeah.
such. If season two kind of, where does all this stuff and then they end up outlawing,
Yeah.
then I could be like, okay, I can, this works better. This is why we don't have we don't see these hybrids,
Right.
down
Yeah.
the line.
Yeah,
So
because like
something,
even in
something like,
Romulus, it's the whole synth thing,
yeah.
with her
So,
brother and with
right.
Ian Holm. So yeah,
Yeah.
no,
So
cool.
something like that's going to have to happen for me to, and again, it will absolutely change certain things, like if that happened, I would still have my issues, but I could, as a whole story, I would rate it higher
Yeah.
because it would make
Yeah.
sense. So
Okay.
that's where I'm at with this.
All I want to say is on that last like view of the group that we see, I really just wanted Wendy to say we aim to misbehave. So
It reminded me of a couple things. It reminded me a little bit of at the end. It had almost the silliness
it was a
of
very
the end
Buffy the
of,
Vampire
yeah,
shot,
yeah,
right?
that.
Like of the Scoobies like walking off
Yeah.
with the camera looking up at them.
But based on the seriousness of the movie or the show,
Yeah.
it reminded me of the end of 28 Years Later, where it was like almost, but not as bad, not as jarring, tone jarring, but it had that like kind of like that almost lightheartedness
Yeah.
in this just brutal, violent world where it's like,
Well,
okay,
I think from the way I read it, right? I agree with you, but like it is lighthearted because there are these children who are
yeah,
capable of such great evil, and they are doing it with a song in their heart because they don't know better,
yeah, and that's actually even that's not like
and scary.
that's a
That makes it scarier.
juxtaposition of being these kids, but being these almost murder bots
Yeah.
as well. So I like that I do
Yeah.
like that juxtaposition as you think about it because it seems so out of place
Yeah.
into,
I just loved
but
it. Yeah.
when I think about some of the issues I had with them as the characters, it actually works because I kept saying like, I don't know if I told you, but with Wendy, as like, really? I mean, you're just okay just murdering these people like when she let the alien out and just murdered people and she did nothing. She didn't care. So that makes sense that that juxtaposition between them being teens, these young kids, but also like you just said, being capable of such heinous things. That I do like that image, that visual, and that type of that like two sides of that coin. So in that regard, I think it works. It's just overall there are things that it just for me as of right now, it just didn't work overall. So there were like snippets that worked, but there's larger aspects that just took it down for me.
Yeah. Yeah. No. All right. So out of five for the season, maybe series finale, out of five, what happens when a boy genius is obsessed with an eyeball?
I want to know more about that eyeball,
I
by the
know.
way. But
Same.
anyway, I give it a 2 out of 5. Again, just a lot of stuff that just didn't work for me, unfortunately, especially because I really liked where the season started and where how the first 4 episodes seemed to get better and better, and just for me, the last few just fell flat.
Yeah. I give it a 4.32 because I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the series as a whole. So, but I really did enjoy, um, the the show as a
Hmm.
whole, and specifically the finale. So,
Yeah.
um, all right. So out of 10, aliens run amok on a rich guy's island.
I gave it a 5 out of 10, and this is definitively because the last few episodes. Because I think because kind of like pre-rate stuff as I go along, and just to see how it changes. And I had this as like six, like halfway through the season, 6.5, and I'm thinking, oh, this is easily going to clear a 7 for me,
Yeah.
and just it went the other way. And sometimes it happens,
Yeah.
you know, it's just it is what it is. So yeah, 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it I had to type it with my original. I gave it a, oh crap, where'd it go? There we go. I went with a 7.25, I think.
Yeah. If you would have told me halfway through the season, like, I think this is going to be a 7.25, I'd be like, oh, absolutely. Because again, I'm usually harder on a show like this in the beginning.
Right.
I mean, I think we both are, because we've seen a lot, but I saw the potential, and just for me, I just kind of frustrated because it didn't quite work like I was hoping it would for me.
Yeah. No, I get it. So, I mean, and it's great. Like, I like that, like, we can have the discussion like this, and, and I thought overall it was a fun show. I think it looked great for the budget.
I thought it looked, looked really good.
You look at like the stuff Amazon spent a $500 million on, and like this was like maybe $100 million from FX. Like, it was fantastic.
Yeah, let's not even talk about Amazon in there. I mean, Amazon did a great job with Dark Wolf. Like, don't get me wrong. Amazon is so up and down with shows though. But just don't go into fantasy shows, please. Just don't. Just
no more fantasy.
Make the gritty stuff like this, Amazon. Because like Dark Wolf, I should say. Like Dark Wolf, like Terminalist, like Reacher. I mean, those are really good. Or what was the other one? Was Krasinski?
Oh, Tom Clancy's one. John, but no.
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
Yeah. Good. Like, just stay in your lane. Don't, like, again, the quicker you put the Lord of the Rings show out of its misery, the better. But I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're going to try to do the 5 seasons, but whatever.
Oh,
I'm not wasting my time on it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've read a couple things.
I haven't watched a single episode.
I watched episode 1, and I can't get that time back. I can't get that time back.
So sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway, on that note, we will be back next week, and we'll probably talk about Gen V and some other things.
Yeah.
So, which I'm actually really enjoying Gen V. I think once you get past the first episode, I hope you change your mind on it. But all right, on that note, thank you guys for listening. We will talk to you soon. Have a great day, night, evening, weekend, wherever you are, and we'll see you later.
Out.
The Infamous Podcast is recorded in Kings Mills, Ohio, just north of Cincinnati. You can find new episodes every Sunday on Apple Podcast, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcast, our website, or anywhere podcasts are downloaded. This show is hosted by Darryl Jasper and me, Brian Tudor. To find more information about the show, visit us at infamouspodcast.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Infamous Podcast to keep up with the show. We also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/Infamous Podcast. We have some great rewards for our patrons and are looking for help to grow the show to bring you more of the content you want to hear. Music for this podcast is provided by Michael Henry from meetmichaelhenry.com. So, whenever you're listening to us, have a great day, night, evening, weekend, whenever it is, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening.